Gary Hernandez here. Let's talk about bandanas. Okay, I was talking about having stuff in your vehicle to be well prepared. As martial artists, we don't just want to be able to be prepared to defend ourselves with our hands and feet, but also in kind of an emergency or a crisis. Something happens, you're in your car, you want to have a good set of tools and survival things in there in case you break down. Well, I was talking about having either a good bandana or a good towel or something. But let me explain about the bandana for a minute. Bandanas are a great thing to have, and they definitely go a long way as using them for multiple purposes. Now, a long time ago, they kind of got stereotyped as people wearing them were gang members, back in the 70s or whatever. They had the Crips and the Bloods, different colored bandanas represented different things. Today I see a lot of martial artists at tournaments and events wearing bandanas. I see a lot of military people wearing bandanas. So the bandanas definitely have a good function in life, okay? Besides the obvious, keeping your head cool, there's a lot of things you can do with them. You can also roll them up, put them around your neck, and keep your neck nice and shaded from the sun so it doesn't burn your neck. You can also dip them in water, put them around your neck, and keep your neck cool. Besides having something you can clean yourself with, if you get injured, now you've got something you can use to stop, if you're bleeding, stop the blood. You can wrap it around something. You can even make a sling out of it. So there's bandanas that have different sizes bandanas, and a lot of them, there's cotton and there's polyester. Cotton's I think is a little bit better, but some people say the polyester is better. Another thing you can do with a bandana is basically you can collect something in it. If you ever had to collect something, you didn't have a bag, you can put something in there and wrap it up. You can also use your bandana to especially if you're I'm into hiking and kayaking and stuff, so when I go out I want to have a bandana with me, not just to keep the sun off me, but in case I got to use it. If I had to sit down somewhere and I didn't want to get my pants dirty, I can obviously sit on this, or if I had to kneel and work on something, I could put this on the ground. So I can use that bandana for that. You can also, let's say you're out somewhere, you're going to have lunch, and you have clean bandana, you put your plate stuff on here so you're not sitting stuff on the ground. You can also use it for, and if you're, let's say you're, like if you're driving and you got a kayak hanging off the back of your truck, you can actually take a different colored bandana, tie it to the back end of that, so it's kind of a flag and it signals that there's, you're hauling something, so people aren't going to run into you. So you got a lot of different things you can do with it. You can actually cut up a bandana and use it to burn, so if you had to start a fire, or if you want to mark a trail, you can take a bandana, cut it into strips, and use it to mark a trail if you were hiking. If you had an extra one and you had no other way to mark a trail, so you can do that. So you can also in your car, if you had to wipe your windshield down, or you had a hot radiator. If you have an older car and you're opening the radiator, you got something that's where you're not going to get burned, stuff like that. If you have kids, it's good to use. You can wipe their face, whatever you want to do with it, basically. So there's a lot of things you can do with it. Besides the stuff I was just talking about, you can also signal people with it too. If you're this is the survival bandana, and this one here has different things on it for survival. Talks about everything from using a compass to certain knives to use, stuff like that, and you can signal with it too. It's definitely a good thing to have. A bandana goes a long way. There's so many different things you can use it for. I mean, I just touched a little bit of, basically on some of that. So besides just wearing it on your head as a cover, now I'm not going to sit here and say you're going to rob somebody with it because you're going to put it over your face. That's not what I'm going to say when I do this, but you can put it around like this and tie it. One of the reasons you would do that is if you're out in the woods hiking or something, you got a lot of bugs coming around your face. You can put it on to cover your face so the bugs won't get in your mouth and your nose. If there's a controlled burn going on, you can actually use that over your mouth and nose so you can breathe a lot better. So there's a lot you can do. Like I said, there's tons of uses for a good bandana. There's hundreds of different bandanas, different patterns, different colors. if like like a lot of the major forests, like the Rockies and all that, they have bandanas that have maps on them, so you can actually use a bandana as a map. So I know a couple of organizations that have their logos on the bandanas. They, for survival stuff like that. They do nature classrooms, and they have their logos on there with information for the kids, stuff like that. So there's a lot you could do with a bandana. Yeah, could I put a rock in there and make a sling and throw it? Probably. I don't know about doing that. You can use it for basically blowing your nose, to hauling something, signaling. Just like I said, there's a lot of uses for a bandana. So I would always have a good bandana with you. If you're hiking, throw one in your pack. Like I said, you can get them anywhere. You can get these at the dollar store. $1, you get 2 bandanas. If you wanted to get one a little bit more military style camouflage, there's just a couple of dollars. I mean, this one here only cost me, I think, $3 for this one. This one here with this big one here with all the information on it, that one ran me, I believe, it's like maybe $5 or $6. So something like that. So you could, you go on eBay, you see tons of bandanas for sale. But bandanas are worth their, you can even filter water. If now you always want to have a good water filtering system, but before you do that, you can literally get water poured into another container, use the bandana to get a lot of the hard, thick gunk out of there, and then your filter system will work a lot better also if you have a water purifier. Or if you're about to boil water, and same thing, just pour it through here first, get all the hard gook out of it, then you can boil water, unless you have your water filtration tablets, stuff like that. So I would definitely consider keeping one of these around. If anything, just to wear and get the sun off your neck, if you don't have a hat. So it's very good to have. So that's kind of a quick little review on bandanas. It's tons of different things you can do with it. And again, it's just something great to have. I would suggest getting yourself a couple of bandanas. There's dozens of different patterns out there. So the bandana has a good purpose. And if you're into outdoors like I am, definitely get yourself a couple. And Gary Hernandez with hopefully a little helpful tip. Thank you.